Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Let's put me on here. No, wrong one. That one's better. Um, Gosh, almost late there. I was so busy looking around at other things, I almost forgot. So, welcome to this week's lesson from a lurker. And I've noticed a particular theme this week. And my particular theme this week is one of knowing when to stop things, knowing when to end, knowing when to call a close to things. And funny enough, just this morning I was delivering part one of a three-part session to a big corporate client around managing projects. And we finished up the session with knowing when to kill a project. And it just reminded me actually of why it is so important to know when to say, we're done now, enough is enough, and not feel any shame or guilt or anything. And I just posted actually in Introvert's Corner that I've started, so I'll finish, which was a famous line from Mastermind, I think, when the questioner would start a question, beep, 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 the time would go. And I'm pretty sure it was in that quiz. He'd say, I've started, so I'll finish, and would then finish the question. And it got me thinking that actually, I've started, so I'll finish only applies to that quiz and to certain functions, which it's not advisable to stop halfway through. But pretty much everything else in life, just because we've started, it doesn't mean we have to finish. So last week I was working on a project, and with everything that was going on in the world, it suddenly didn't feel right. My heart wasn't in it in the first place, and I should have paid attention to that earlier, but I didn't. Then circumstances around us changed dramatically, and it just felt inappropriate. And when I was sharing with my group on the Managing Projects course this morning about, sorry, I've just seen a comment come in, but I didn't have the screen up. Let's put that on. Good morning, Carrie, from northern Minnesota, where it's chilly as a chilly thing, I reckon there. Anyway, one of the lines here, in terms of knowing when to kill a project, is when market conditions or business strategy has changed. That was true in my case. And where the project assumptions have changed and it may not be the right project to work on. Also true. But it got me thinking about lots of other things in life, actually, when, yes, yeah, you don't have to finish, Carrie. It's fine not to finish. Got me thinking about lots of other things in life where, and some people are really good at this, and sometimes those people really frustrate me. They'll start a job and not finish it. And I'm not necessarily talking about that, but I'm talking about where we've given our heart and soul to something, but then all of a sudden it doesn't feel right. Or as in my case, the conditions, or as in my case, also the conditions changed, the market conditions changed. And how important it is to pay attention to that, both for my own integrity, but also for the what I was looking to deliver. And I just found it so liberating this week to really relish that concept of, yeah, I've started, but I don't have to finish. If it doesn't feel right anymore, if it's not going in the right direction, but there's something that comes with this. So it can't just be, that's it, I don't want to do it anymore, I'm finished. I think it's about doing a bit of analysis and saying, okay, what's changed? Because if it is just me going chicken, then I probably need to figure out a way to get out of my own way. But if it's more than me going chicken, if it's that there is something really deeply now incongruent about this, or those conditions have changed, a bit of reflection, a bit of learning from it in terms of what do I need to do in order to make sense of this for myself and therefore decide whether it's stopped forever, whether it's stopped for now, or whether I need to get over myself, get out of my own way and get on with it. So I think it's a lovely concept just to pay attention to. Just because you started, you don't have to finish. But if you have a sense of not wanting to finish, pay attention to that and just reflect on it and understand what it's about. And if you've gone chicken, get over yourself, get on with it. If things have changed, then it's okay not to go back to it, either yet or ever, perhaps. So that's my big kind of, I suppose, big lesson from this week, big learning that I'm taking forward into, interestingly, a lot of what I do. So this cropped up for me middle of last week. I've then just delivered that training this morning that reinforced that message. And what I noticed last week after I made my decision, energetically, I felt so much different. I felt like I'd made the right decision for the right reasons, and I could now get on and do things. I could move forward, whereas before I was dragging my heels, whereas before I was a bit reluctant. All of a sudden, I was energetically in a much better place. So that's my big lesson for today. That's my big lesson for this week. And I do wonder what my lesson next week will be. So that leaves me free for the rest of the day. I'm off to my local spa where I spent last Thursday morning. And this afternoon, I am going there to be part of a candle making course. All of this was due to happen just leading up to Christmas, which would have been beautiful. But of course, people were struck down with COVID and that wasn't possible. So I'm going there this afternoon for a candle making course. And then we are doing yoga by candlelight, by the candles that we've made. How gorgeous does that seem? That then frees me up tomorrow to be headlong into creation work that I am now so looking forward to. So let me leave you with a question. What have you started that you could step away from? And whether that's a relationship, whether that's a piece of work, whether that's a commitment of some form or another that either you made or were guilted into making, perhaps, I don't know. But what is it you could step away from? Because the truth is, just because you've started, you don't have to finish. And that's all from me today. Farewell.